I'll play it later. I think that's funny.
Where'd you go? That's a great question. I did not try to click on this. Puppy. I hate when I do that because I'm trying to do something quick and all of a sudden Google pops up. I'm trying to search. Like, the dog's cute. I thought that was the door.
No, good.
That was hard. I can't help it yesterday. I was at the surprise on what like the metal motor on there. It got like yeah, it hurt. So the other day, I tried to close the door with my knee, and it like hit like right in the squishy part of my knee. I was like, you know, like it like whatever I did, that makes me like.
Alrighty then, here we go. Bell ringer for today. Describe what an independent dependent variable is. What was the IV and DV for Emily Rose's and Clever Hans experiment? There you go. Clever Hans. What a guy. We will go over the worksheet from yesterday. Hopefully you turn it in for credit.
Oh my god, did I turn mine in?
Ooh.
I did it. Look, it's done. I finished it yesterday. I got school night.
Yep.
And mine was blank, so I redid it last period. And if it's blank again, I have screenshots to show that I did it.
Okay.
Oh, screenshots.
I'm good.
Pictures. Dom, where's your mask, buddy? I have one here if you need it. All right. Struggling today.
Just the silence and the. I feel that.
Do you need more time? A couple more minutes. Found it. Nice. We're going to bell ringer down. All right. Don't tell me. Copywriting. Taking pics of the book. Full of people. I know it'd be you, Rooster. Yeah, you. Yeah, why? Throw me under the bus. Forney, you too. I'd steal my wallet after you did it. Funny thing is, you won't find much of that. All right, let's go over this. Describe what an independent and dependent variable is. What is an independent variable? What is an independent variable? Let me see if this is screen playing yet. Yep, good. Independent variable. Who would want to answer this one? Reliable. Guess we're going to go down to 1 on this one. I'm just kidding, Lily. Go ahead, Katie.
It's just like it doesn't depend on anything. It doesn't need anything.
Okay, all right. What else can we add to that? What else can we add? Maria.
It's what changes.
Okay, so it's what the experimenter changes or manipulates in the study, right? Okay, good job. All right, good. All right, good. So we'll just relate that to that after we go over the dependent variable. Good job. So independent variable is the manipulated variable, something that the experimenter changes, okay, throughout the study in order to try to get results. Or the dependent variable, what is that? TC. Yeah, good job. So the response, okay, dependent variable response. Okay, it is the effect. It is something that that we measure. Okay, the measurable outcome. Good job. So the IV, independent variable, and Emily Rose's experiment. What do we have for that? Independent variable for Emily Rose's experiment. Rooster, what do you got?
It's like her randomizing.
Yeah, good job. So she's changing what hand she's going to be hovering over top of, either left or right hand. Okay, good job. It's almost like that game, just like, oh, try to hit it tough. All right, so what about Clever Hans study? Independent variable there. Clever Hans. So what's changing? What is the experimenter, Pfungst, right? What's he doing that's changing in his study to try to seek the results? Gracie, what do you have? Yeah, good job. So the math problems, all right? So the math problems or equations that he asks Clever Hans to do. So he's changing it, right? He's trying to make it randomized, which I'll talk about here soon. Good. All right, dependent variable for Emily Rose's experiment. So remember, dependent variable response. Oh, go ahead, Lily.
How many times they got like the hands correct?
Yeah, good job. So the response, right? So it's either, or no, sorry. Yeah, dependent variable. That's what we're talking about. Dependent variable for Emily Rose is the response, right? What they're saying. Okay, it's either left or right hand. Okay, that's what the practitioner will be saying. All right, good job. Yeah, bump that up to 2 now. Right, Lily? Gonna bump that up to 2. All right, so what about Clever Hans? Clever Hans, what's the dependent variable there? Megan?
Whether Hans got the question right.
Okay, so his response as well to it, right? So the number of hoof taps that he has, right, or you know, his response to the math equation. So how he answered it. Okay, good job. Is there any questions on that, guys? The IV, the DV. Okay, how we're relating it to this study, well, these 2 studies. Good. All right, cool. All right, so we are going to work on vocab now, and then we'll go over the worksheet from yesterday. Make sure everybody's all on the same page with those questions. And then I want to talk a little bit about the confounding variables today, validity, and analyzing results. And that's all I got. So it could be a short day. Could be a short day. What do you think? Rooster, you like that? I like that. Yeah. Kirk Cousins, you like that? All right, there you go. Working on some vocab right now. I'll play some music for you. It's almost that time. All right. Can't wait.
Stuck in my head for the past 2 weeks.
This song.
Yes. I sing it when I'm bored at work. I start singing.
Me too. Katie, that and Reading Rainbow. I like that song. This guy's singing it's funny. Monster Mash. All right, cool. Moving on. How about I go over the notes first, and then I'll go over the worksheet after that, just so I know I have enough time to cover new material. Sound good? All right. Bruce gave me a thumbs up. Go ahead. All right, so we just got done talking about independent, dependent variables, okay, and how they are Used within study, independent variable, remember, is a manipulated, changeable variable, okay, something that the experimenter changes, right? Dependent variable is a measurable outcome, okay? So that is something that we're using to measure what we're studying, what the independent variable expresses within the hypothesis, right? Good, good. All right, next one, confounding variable. Confounding variable, ooh, we don't want any of these to happen. That might alter our data. But with a confounding variable, this is a variable that is unwanted influence on the outcome of an experiment. Oh, unwanted influence. That can't happen. All right, so or other possible explanations for the dependent variable, the result, okay? So a confounding variable, let's say for my study with Rooster studying and trying to build up his exam grade, right? Okay, so a confounding variable is something that might alter the data, something that you're not really seeing when you're developing your study, okay, something that really just results in really a poor data representation. Okay, so confounding variable, what do you think would be a confounding variable for the study I was doing? So if Rooster studies more, okay, if Rooster spends more time studying, his grade will increase. Okay, what do you think a confounding variable might be in that study that might throw off my data? What do you think? I know a good one. Oh, okay, all right. So you're saying I'm posting the wrong materials out. I'm not preparing you for the test. Wow, okay. Well, yeah, that could be something. Yeah, like if I post chapter 3 or 4 when it's supposed to be chapter 2, you big doofus, right? What are you doing, Katie?
His amount of sleep that he gets will affect how he's able to focus.
Oh, okay, yeah, good. So if I said time studying, let's say he doesn't sleep at all, right? So let's say he stays up all night playing Avengers, something cool like that. He won't be able to really be prepared for this exam. He's going to be tired. He's going to be sleeping. He's going to fall asleep. Yeah, that's a good one. What else? What else can we throw in there? What do you think? Any other? I like that one, Katie. That's a good one. Rooster has a good one with the resources too. TC? Okay, yeah, maybe he's not getting the right meals, right? Maybe he's not eating breakfast or lunch. Oh, man, come on, dude. Eat your breakfast, will you? Okay. Yeah, good job. So that might alter the study as well. Okay, so that could be, those are all good examples, confounding variables that might skew the results. Okay, might cause an issue with the data that I'm trying to gather. Okay, maybe he went to the GameStop and got Avengers. And, rather than studying, he'd rather play Avengers instead. Hulk smashing it up. Yeah, good job. So that's a good example of confounding variables. Okay, a variable that's involved within the study that the experimenter doesn't really try to involve. Okay, something that influences your results that you didn't expect to happen. I'd always give the one with, I hate them, moths. Okay, moths that always get in the house when I have a light on at night. Okay, I hate that. So let's just say we're doing a study on moths. Okay, and we put a light in the room. We put like 5 moths in here. Okay, and they're flying around. And let's say we just put blinds up in the room and over the windows. Okay, a confounding variable would be like the light shining through the windows. Okay, although we have a light and we want to see how many moths attract to that certain light, let's just say for some reason there was a hole in the blind and it's shining a light on the wall, the moths go attract to that light. It's like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't think that there would be a hole in my blind. Okay, but that would be a good example of a confounding variable. You guys get it? You guys understand it? Okay, good. Validity. Okay, the only thing you really need to know is just what validity is. Okay, refers to the extent to which a test measures what it's supposed to measure. Okay, I'm going to show a movie at the end of this chapter. Oh yeah, it depends how good you do on the test and the project though. I'm going to sign that here soon. But validity is just to see exactly how close your study represents your hypothesis, what you're trying to measure within your study, your dependent variable. Okay, if you find the exact actual results, especially with the Stanford prison experiment, which no one's allowed to do that experiment when we do research. Okay, that didn't have an independent variable. It didn't at all. Okay. And that's why it's critiqued, really. and I'll discuss what the Stanford Prison Experiment is more. But it had a lot of validity. It had a lot of measured outcomes that the experimenter, Zimbardo, was trying to find. Okay, he noticed that, you know what, this really worked out the way I thought it would. Okay, to a point where it actually manipulated his thinking of the experiment, that it actually placed him to be this superintendent of this prison that he tried to simulate. Okay, and he didn't even have an independent variable in his study, but the validity of that experiment expressed that, you know what, it really worked. Okay, what he was trying to find, the measurable outcome, all right, he found it. Okay, to a point where he even got screwed up into the mix. Okay, where he actually thought he was involved within the experiment to an extent. All right, so validity just refers to the extent to which a test measures what it's supposed to measure. Okay, so to see exactly if it really came out to be what you thought it would. Right? If you get the results that you were designed to look for, or maybe not. Okay, or maybe not. All right, so for Hans and Rosa, so we already talked about this, guys, with the dependent independent variable. I don't think we need to discuss this anymore, do we? Right, we all know the independent variable manipulated. Okay, so with Emily Rosa putting it over her hand, which hand it might be, she changes it depending on the flip of the coin. Clever Hans, the math equations, the math problems that Pfungst asks. Dependent variable, measurable outcome. Okay, the response of the therapeutic touch practitioner, either left or right hand. And Pfungst, with Clever Hans, the hoof taps. Okay, what he was trying to express or state within his response. All right, so analyzing results. Okay, the fourth step here of the empirical approach. Okay, this step consists of looking at the data collected and see if it supports or disproves the hypothesis. Plain and simple, guys, self-explanatory. You're looking at your results and you're applying it to your study to see exactly if your hypothesis is proven, if it met the challenge, okay, through the experiment, or if it didn't. Okay, either way, you have to replicate it. You have to do it again. Okay, you have to repeat your study, your experiment. All right, so analyzing the results for Emily Rosa, we already know what happened here. So she thought, you know what, there's a 50-50 shot that either way this practitioner could get the answer right. Okay, realistically, they could guess. They could just kind of go off a whim and really guess the right answer, either left or right hand. And she knew that, okay, but her hypothesis, you know what, if it's under 50%, I think this is where the study is going to lead to, which it did, okay, which it did. Many of these practitioners answered below 50%. Many of them thought that was good, which, come on now, you know percentages and tests, right? All right, so she concluded that therapeutic touch practitioners could not detect the human energy field. Right? She stated that within her response. All right, so with Clever Hans, we know that when you remove the horse trainer, okay, when you ask questions that the horse trainer doesn't know, Clever Hans just simply can't do math. He's just a horse. Pays for horses, right? So with that, Pfungst proved through his study, through his experiment, that Clever Hans actually couldn't do math equations, perform math equations, and understand and cognitively know the answer. He was just seeing and visualing off of facial cues, okay, and different movements by his horse trainer. All right. So actually, the hypothesis was rejected. However, as Hans was unable to correctly answer any question in the absence of his owner. Ooh. Okay. There you go. So he knew that if you remove the horse trainer, then he can't tell math problems, which we already knew. We talked about and discussed. Is there any questions on that, guys? I'll go over the fifth step more tomorrow. I want to go over that worksheet with you right now on the independent, dependent variable, because some of those might pop up on a quiz or test. Spooky. Look out, especially now, Monster Mash. Okay, let's pull this up here. Oh, why am I in freedom? What the heck? Oh, that's why she couldn't join. Oops. Oops. Casey's probably at home. I can't get in. No, lock me out. That's my fault. That's recording, so she can watch the recording. Everybody else can. All right. Independent, dependent variable. Where are we at? Tuesday. There we go. All right, number one, the more time people spend using social media, the less they read books. What do we have for this one here? Rooster, go ahead, man. Good job. So the time spent on social media. Good. So if you just put time down, you're not going to get credit. You got to put the time spent on social media. Dom, you got that? All right, cool. And then dependent variable. Number of books they read. Yep. Number of books they read. Good job. All right, so you guys got that? Time spent on social media. Dependent variable, the measurable outcome is number of books read. All right, good. 2, drinking energy drinks makes people more aggressive. Here we go. What do we have? Forney. Okay, good. Yeah, good job. Good job. So independent variable, obviously it's changed, right? It's manipulated. So the number of energy drinks they consume, right? And then the dependent variable would be the aggression, okay? So how severe it might be, how unsevere it might be, right? Okay. That's what they always said about watching wrestling. Oh, you're going to be more aggressive if you watch wrestling. If you watch wrestling. Well, I watch wrestling. I'm aggressive. 3, taking a nap in the afternoon makes people more focused for the rest of the day. Dom, what do you got for independent variable? Okay. And dependent variable? Yeah, good job. So they're focused, right? So independent variable would be either took a nap or not, the time spent napping, I guess you could say, if maybe it's a lower time, maybe it's longer. And then the dependent variable would be the level of their focus, right? So you see how long they were focused for. Good. 4, spending time with a family dog decreases the amount of stress someone feels. I think that's true. I think that's true, unless he eats your homework, right, Rooster? Yeah. Lily, what do you got?
For independent, I got the time spent with a family dog.
Good.
And then for dependent, I said the amount of stress you feel.
Good job. So time spent with the dog, independent variable. Dependent variable, the measurable outcome, the amount of stress. Good. 5, eating breakfast in the morning increases the ability to learn in school. Rebecca, independent variable? Yeah, good job. Good job. Independent variable, eating breakfast or not, right? Maybe how much breakfast, who knows? Dependent variable is ability to learn. Good. All right, here we go. More challenging. Ooh. 1, students watch a cartoon either alone or with others and then rated how funny they found the cartoon to be. Independent variable, Megan?
Everybody watch the cartoon alone or with others?
Good job. Alone or with others. Dependent variable. Go ahead.
Oh, how funny they thought the cartoon was.
Good job. So rating how funny the movie actually was, right? So whenever I'm watching a funny movie, I always think it's more funny when I'm with someone else. I don't know, just me. Whenever I see someone else laughing at it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that is funny. 2, a comprehension test was given to students after they had studied textbook material either in silence or with the television on. TC, independent variable.
The study they got done in silence with the TV on.
Good, yeah.
And
Dependent variable.
how good they on the comprehension.
Awesome. Yep. Good job. So independent variable would be if they're watching the TV with silence. Okay. All right. Or if the TV's on, right? Dependent variable, or sorry, if it was silent or with the TV on. Dependent variable would be score on the comprehension test. Good. 3, some elementary school teachers were told that a child's parents were college graduates, and other teachers were told that the child's parents had not finished high school. They then rated the child's grades. Gracie? Good job. So independent variable differs amongst the education of the parent, right? And then dependent variable would be the child's grades. Good. 4, workers at a company were assigned to one of the two conditions. One group completed a stress management training program. Another group of workers did not participate in the training. The number of sick days taken by these workers were examined for the next 2 months. Independent variable, what do we have, Katie?
It was like if they were like in the stress management program or not.
Yeah. So the training, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And
Dependent variable.
And then the dependent variable was like how many sick days, like each month.
Good job. So number of sick days taken, right? Good. Awesome. 5, students at a university were split into 2 groups and each received a different text for a philosophy course. One group received a traditional textbook while the other received an interactive textbook on a tablet computer. After the course, the final exam grades between the 2 groups of students were compared. Nina, what do you got for independent variable?
The students were given 2 different styles and
Yeah, good job. So the type of textbook, either it was on the computer or if it was a an actual hand copy, good. And then dependent variable.
it was the results of the test.
Yeah, good job. So comparing the 2 tests or exam scores. Good job. Is there any questions on that, guys? Independent, dependent variables. You good with that? All right, so some of these scenarios might actually pop up on the test or a quiz. So make sure you know. And that's all I got for today. There it is.
Do you want me to